Hello, this is Rachel from 7 and All. Today I'm going to be giving you a look inside the Dash into Cursive Handwriting Books 1, 2, and 3. I purchased these for my kindergarten son, who has been showing a lot of interest in cursive and was in fact inventing his own form of cursive. So I decided I better hurry up and begin teaching him the correct way to do it. All right, let's turn around and get started looking inside the books. All right, I want to give you a quick look inside these books so that you can see the approach that they take in these books, as well as the level to expect from book 1, book 2, or book 3. I do want to mention that if you order your books in print from Dash into Learning, they're going to look a little bit different, and also if you print at home. I had these printed at my local print shop, and this is the way that they do covers. They never do it with white paper. They print everything in black and white, and they do the tape binding. I had these printed because the insides of the books are black and white, so to me it was just more convenient to have them printed at the print shop versus trying to do it at home. So in book 1, you're going to start off with information for the teacher about how to get started with teaching cursive, paper positioning, and all of that. Then you have several pages of aim the arrow game. So you're not starting off right away with letters. You are having some practice in following a line, following a curve, going in the direction from left to right, aiming the arrow here. So a number of pages of that. Then you get your strokes. So they actually teach individual types of strokes and they give them names. The reason they keep saying Dash is because this horse's name is Dash. I'm new to Dash into Learning, so I didn't actually know what Dash referred to. But yeah, so every stroke has a name. And then they intersperse actual strokes with different types of activities, tracing activities. We have our loop, which we can recognize. Those of us who know cursive, we're like, oh yeah, we do use these strokes, although we probably don't think about it. So another little activity, lasso the ponies. When we first got these books back from the printer, my son went through them all, page by page, to look at all the activities and all the exciting things he gets to do. So that's where we just get all the strokes to begin with. You're still learning strokes. Then you actually start learning some letters. And the first book focuses on lowercase letters, which is great because that's mostly what you're going to be using most of the time. We're starting with a lowercase I. So this is the process for all of them. You are told the strokes and you can have verbal clues. Verbal clues if you want to use those. So say what you're doing as you do it. And with the dot, then here you're practicing connecting the letters, writing them on your own, and you get a star when the page is completed. My son was like, hey, he loved the box for the star. Sometimes little things like that can really make them pretty happy. Then you follow the exact same pattern for every lowercase letter, but they alternate it with little activities. So here you are supposed to be tracing all of the J's, only the J's. So they're identifying J's, getting from one horse to the other horse. Then we have our T, but then here we're actually connecting the T to the end of each word. So I like that. So already we're getting to see a letter in the context of a word. So they have a variety in these activities. So there's a blend of consistency and variety throughout these. And then I'll show you toward the end of the book. We're going through all the letters of the alphabet. We're getting A, and then here, find all the things that start with A and write the A below them. What drew me to Dash into Learning was because with a kindergartner who is asking to learn cursive, that's actually new to me. I was not from a family that did cursive very early on. We were more the learn it in around 3rd grade, 2nd, 3rd grade type. So I didn't have any resources that were designed for younger kids, for kindergartners to learn cursive. I know that many companies actually offer this, but I didn't know any that offered it in PDF. I only knew like Abeka has hard copies. other companies I do know of that do handwriting, they have hard copies of cursive starting at a kindergarten level, but not so much of PDF versions for really learning and mastering cursive. Then we have book 2. I bought all 3 of these books in the bundle because it was cheaper that way. And so we can just learn the whole thing. They do get a little bit harder, obviously, as time goes. So we have our whole chart. And here is actually a chart on how to write each letter step by step. And we go back over how to write lowercase letters. When you're beginning this book, then we have even if you started in this book, you get to review strokes. You get to practice starting strokes for uppercase letters here. So starting strokes, so they do go by strokes at the beginning, and then we begin our uppercase letters. So it's still following that same pattern that's familiar from book 1. So we have the letter pages alternated with different activity pages. Here you're drawing an uppercase A on each acorn. And here we have an O. And here we have an opportunity to actually do some tracing of words, if you'd like. Now that you've learned all of those lowercase, we have our J. And then mazes. My son was very excited about the little paths. He loves any kind of path tracing thing. And reviews, they do include. So it continues with the same type of pattern. There's a variety of activities in here. We have a secret message activity. Here we have our cue. A fun fact, my mom does not like this cue, so she did not teach us to write the cue that way when she taught us cursive. There's a few little games in here. There's the S. So here's a snakes and ladders game to play. Games, oh, and this one also includes numbers at the end, which aren't too different from normal numbers, but also you're learning how to write the numbers in cursive, so that's really cool. See that? So you get that little bit of slant with cursive. And there are also pages in the back of the book for just practicing those letters. So you're getting a little bit of word copying, a little bit of drawing incorporated throughout. Then book 3, you're getting more into words. So I'm glad it's going to take us a while to get to this level because I'm hoping that he'll be reading more fluently by then. He'll be stronger. I mean, here, he could already read this sentence right now. He already has all of this phonics, so I'm glad to see that it's not starting with a very complicated words phonetically. He could, like, that none of this would be hard for us right now phonetically, but it gradually starts incorporating more sight words and not so phonetic words blends. So I'm glad that we're going to have a little more time to progress through phonics before we get to this book. So it kind of goes through more copying of words, but you also have some different interactive activities. You can see that. Here we have how to connect E and A, how to connect O and A. These are common connections that you'll find in words. So that's really cool to see them practicing connecting, letters that are commonly connected. Here we have more sight words that they're working on. Another sentence. We're getting some punctuation in there. Copying words, matching them to the animal. So they're also getting practice in reading cursive, which is also a skill to learn. There was a little unicorn mask. He saw these masks and was very excited about those. Not really much to do with cursive, but they just kind of incorporate some little fun stuff in from time to time. Again, we have a little coded message, blended letters, sight words, a little game. So you can see it follows that pattern. It's very consistent. We have review and opportunities to just practice the letters at the end. We have a game. So that is what you can expect from Dash into Cursive. I'm excited to use this resource for a gentle introduction to cursive, one that's more age appropriate for kindergarten than some of the other resources my mom already had on hand. And I was also really happy it was available in PDF because I can't be getting physical books when I'm not in the US. So here, I wanted to share this resource with you in case it's helpful for you. And I will link to them down below in the description. All right, I will see you later. Bye.